Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and we've got a very special Forces edition of the show for you tonight. So, attention! By the right, quick march to the television set. On the double, you stragglers in the kitchen. Yes. Well, our contestants tonight are members of the Armed Forces who attended our recent nationwide auditions. Two Royal Marine Commandos first, both from Somerset. Will you welcome Sergeant Jason Way and Sergeant Andy Probert? Good luck. How are you guys? I won't help them in the chair because I don't think they need it. Right. Jason and Andy have been buddies for 10 years. Jason's home is in Weston-super-Mare, where he lives with his girlfriend Gemma. He's been a Marine for 15 years now, having joined just before his 18th birthday. Originally, he planned to go into the army, but followed the lead of a couple of his mates and joined the Marines instead before he realised just how much more gruelling the training was going to turn out to be. He has seen plenty of active service in Afghanistan, where he helped to train Afghan soldiers. He applied to be on the show on the internet because he wanted to show that Marines do have brains as well as brawn.
Why would you say that?
We shall see. His mate Andy says he got dragged along to the audition by Jason, and he warns that they may well start bickering on the show. He lives in Wellington in Somerset with his wife Lindsay. Like Jason, he's also served in Afghanistan, where he once had a near miss with a landmine. He says he does love being a Marine despite the obvious dangers, because they spend their working lives parachuting, abseiling and undergoing rigorous and arduous training. And he says he actually enjoys very sedate pleasures when he's at home, like weeding and painting the fence. OK, right, here we go. Lots to talk about. Hopefully lots of money to be won. As ever, the computer will randomly fire off a salvo of up to 12 questions for a possible shared prize of £1 million. And there's backup close at hand from those trusty lifelines. 50-50, phone a friend, or they can ask this very, hopefully helpful, intelligent audience. Jason, Andy, guys, lots of luck. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Here we go. Question number one. It's £500. The song Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious features in which musical? Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Mary Poppins, Oliver. For 500 quid.
Not my strong point. There's no right answer to this. If we get this right, we're going to get a bit of grief at work.
Let's think about this one. I'm going to go... Oh, well, I'm pretty sure it's Mary Poppins.
I agree, it's Mary Poppins.
I'm pretty sure it's Mary Poppins.
OK, that's the right answer. You've got £500. OK, last point at which you could go home with nothing at all. I'm sure it won't happen. You have got all three lifelines. There are no trick questions. This is for £1,000. Which city is known for its royal crescent? Birmingham, Bath, Bolton, Bradford.
I think I know this one.
I hope you do, because I don't.
Why would you say that? I think it's Bath. Royal Crescent's in Bath.
That rings a bell. Yeah,
You do know if he's wrong and you go along with him, you go with nothing at all.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Are you sure? Why do you think it's Bath?
I just know there's the big circle in Bath as well as the Royal Crescent.
Yeah, I can't see it being Birmingham or Bolton or Bradford now. All right, I'm happy. I'm happy.
It's the right answer. You got £1,000. Don't tell me you're nervous, big boys.
I'm just happy that we made it here.
Right now.
I have to say, I can imagine if you did go out, you know, under 1,000, you went home with nothing, the stick you would get would be just horrific.
I couldn't even explain what I think I'd have to go into hiding.
Yeah, I think the term AWOL would come into mind.
Jason, you were going to go into the army originally.
Yep.
And then for some reason you decided, no, I'd actually rather be a Marine. And then when you got into the training, you thought, why didn't I go in the army?
Yeah, I didn't quite realise. Yeah.
Is it that tough?
Well, yeah, I mean, believe that when we trained, it was 30 weeks. I believe now it's moved up to 32. And it's because it's a long evolution. So long, your body gets trashed. You know, you're constantly being hammered all the time. Like, you see the adverts, strength of mind thing. And it is very much a case of, your mind has to get you through as well as your body.
Now, what do you expect to do? I mean, obviously you think, oh, we couldn't get less than 1,000, we'll get absolutely lynched.
We're quite realistic, actually. We would like to go up to, if we made it to £10,000, £5,000 each, I mean, that would be phenomenal. You know, if we can go up beyond that, then we'll go for it.
What would you do with it? What would you do
Spend
with
it.
If you won, yeah, of course, but if you won... yeah, but if you won serious money, Andy, what would you do?
I have no idea. Yeah, holidays, pay bills, I'd love to say all that boring stuff.
Jason, what's your sort of plan?
Vegas, chuck it on black.
OK, right, you have £1,000, that's guaranteed. I think you might need a bit more for the lifestyle you intend to live. You're 5 away from 50,000. You have all 3 lifelines. Question number 3 is for £2,000. Here it comes. According to the proverb, the road to hell is paved with what? Good words, good ideas, good deeds, good intentions.
I was thinking good intentions. I don't know why. It's just...
I don't know.
No, it's not definite. I was thinking good intentions, but I really don't know.
I don't know
Good
that one.
words, I wouldn't have thought. Good ideas, maybe. Good deeds, can't see that. I think good intentions or good ideas is definitely makes more sense to me. Is it a road to hell? Good, you know, you've got good intentions, but it all goes wrong.
What are your feelings?
I'm thinking good intentions, but I said we're not sure.
Use a
I think we should
lifeline?
use a lifeline, yeah.
If you ask the audience.
You want to ask the audience? Or 50-50 it?
No, I don't want to use
yeah.
50-50.
Yeah, I think we'll ask the audience, please, Chris.
OK, right, audience, this is for £2,000. Your chance to shine under our cameras. This is the question. According to the proverb, the road to hell is paved with what? Now, A on your keypads is good words, B is good ideas, C is good deeds, D is good intentions. One of those is worth £2,000 to Andy and Jason. A, B, C or D, all vote now. That's quite high.
No, that's exactly what that lifeline's there for.
Yeah.
No, I had a feeling about good intentions. I'm happy to go with it,
Yeah.
if you're happy.
Yeah, happy.
Good intentions, final answer.
It's the right answer. You've got £2,000. You say you love being a Marine. 15 years now?
Yeah, love
What
it.
do you love about it?
Where else can you go to all these exotic countries around the world, like Afghanistan and Iraq? But
Well, exactly.
apart from those, there's I've been on some brilliant tours around the world. I've always wanted to do it, ever since I was a little boy.
You did once, like my dad, actually, you went over a landmine.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, there must have been a point there where you thought, I'm not sure about being
It sounds, yeah, it sounded a lot more drastic than what it is. Luckily for
Well,
us,
it's quite
was
scary.
Well, yeah, I guess it is.
Andy, going over a mine is, I mean...
We,
and you got a
luckily, it's an
family,
anti-personnel mine. It's only a smaller variety of the mine. So luckily, and the vehicles that we were in were more than adequate to deal with it, but it did make the hair smoke for a little bit.
You've both been on you know, various tours of Afghanistan particularly. Were there times when, you know, you were truthfully, genuinely, really frightened?
Oh, yeah, often. I think if you're not frightened, anyone who says that they're not is either being stupid or is lying. And it's just a natural thing that's going to happen, but you get... Luckily, with the people that we've got around us, you tend to get through it, and you usually end up coming through at the other end giggling a little bit, because it was that close, and you think, oh, blimey, that was close, and have a little bit of a giggle with your friends and sort of carry on with the rest of the day.
Right, now listen, bless you guys for what you do. You have £2,000 at the moment. Let's try and win you a lot more money. You have a 50-50. You have a phone a friend. Question number 4 is for £5,000. Here it comes. The novel The Hunchback of Notre Dame was originally written in which language? French, German, Russian, Spanish.
I think, well, it's French, isn't it?
I want it to be French.
I want it to be French. I can't think of any other one it would be. It's obviously based in France. Why would it be written in German, Spanish or Russian?
No, I don't know. I think, why would it not be French?
French.
Andy, you looking worried?
Should we go 50-50? Or are you confident it's French?
Would you want to 50-50 just hedge your bets? 50-50 hedge your bets and just, if it's left there, I mean...
It's not just that, I'd be gutted.
Yeah.
If it wasn't French, we
Can we
didn't
get 50
use...
just to confirm it, just in case French does disappear? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, 50-50 please, Chris.
OK, right. For you to take away 2 random wrong answers, leave Sergeant Andy and Sergeant Jason the right answer and the 1 remaining wrong answer. French still there, and Spanish.
Still doesn't fill me with warmth for some reason.
If German had been left, I might have been a bit, I don't know, I'd just...
Want to go for it?
Would you go for it, yeah? Why not? French?
French.
French, final answer.
It's the right answer. You got £5,000.
Can you send me back to Afghan now?
This is tougher than a tour of Afghanistan. Written by Victor Hugo, Notre Dame de Paris. Right, you have £5,000. You still have a phone a friend. How are you feeling, you two?
I'm glad we're past £1,000.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're good.
Fine.
You can't?
Ticking over.
What do your girlfriend, what do your ladies say about, you know, the lifestyle and the dangers and the fear of you coming back or whatever?
My wife personally hates my job.
Really?
Hates it with a passion. She understands why I do it and why I love it so much, but she hates me going away, understandably.
Your lady Gemma wants to get married.
Yeah.
Well, don't look like that.
Rejects it.
that Andy's wife is not that keen on being married to someone who lives the marine lifestyle. Your lady wants to get married to you.
Yeah, again, same as Annie's though, she doesn't... supports me with it, obviously, and everything, but obviously not very happy with it.
Yeah.
That's more to point. I think it's more of that... knowing what I do in the dangers, but the fact, like I say, I am away for a long... if I am away for a long period, then obviously she's at home by herself. She doesn't like that too much.
Listen, you have £5,000. You still have 1 important lifeline. You still have a phone a friend. Question number 5 is for £10,000. Here it comes. Tom Hicks and George Gillette became the owners of which British football club in 2007? Aston Villa, Fulham, Newcastle United, Liverpool.
I'm absolutely rubbish on football. Any good?
Andy's nodding wisely.
Are you considering this, or do you not know it?
Yeah, I think it's Liverpool.
I've got no clue, mate, so I'm with you.
Why do you think it's Liverpool, Andy?
This is going to make it even worse. I'm a Liverpool supporter.
Surely that's not a bad thing to be.
And if I was walking down the street and someone asked me that question, I'll just answer it. It's a bit different when it's for £10,000.
You sure?
I'm sure it's Liverpool.
Are you sure? I'm happy, mate, to go with it.
Why'd you have to be so supporting?
Sorry, mate. No. Sorry. Right, that's it. I'm not going with it. We'll choose another one. Now, if you honestly think it is, I mean, if you're not happy, you can phone my mate, Steve.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure it's Liverpool.
No. Just do it. He's driven over minds. What's the problem? So if you're not happy, then we'll phone a friend. That's what it's there for. So.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. You want to go with it? Gonna eyebrows it.
No. Yeah, should we go for it?
Yeah, I'm happy. If you're happy, mate, we'll go for it.
Final. I've never known two such indecisive Marines. It's kind of worrying.
Take the hill. Don't take the hill.
Final answer.
Yes, Chris.
Final answer.
You just won £10,000. And you still have a phone a friend intact. You are 2 away from £50,000. You said if you got to 10 grand, you'd be well pleased. You've got that at this moment. You can walk away with it. You could use that phone a friend and still do a runner. You enjoying this yet?
Still no.
Okay, fine. Just asking, that means I'm doing my job well. OK, you have £10,000. You have a phone a friend. Question number 6 is for £20,000. You can double your money here. Here it is. Kate Humble usually presents TV programmes on which of these subjects? Design, fashion, cookery, wildlife.
No idea, mate.
Don't recognise the name at all.
Watch some cookery programmes and things like that. Never heard of her. Watch the wildlife programmes. Never heard of her. I'd be pushed towards design and fashion.
Why would I know if it's design or fashion?
I don't know. I don't know your personal life, Andrew, that well.
Kate Humble usually presents TV programmes on which of these subjects? Design, fashion, cookery or wildlife? It's worth £20,000, serious money.
This is going to have to be phone a friend. I've got no idea. I'm
I
not.
haven't.
Yeah.
I don't know if my phone a friend will know that.
You haven't got a friend that knows?
I'm lucky to have friends, Chris.
Yeah.
That's right, mate.
You got Jason. That must be reassuring.
Who your phone a friend will?
My auntie might know. Not 100%, but she may have an inkling, so... You
It's
happy with
probably
that?
more.
Yeah.
Got more chance of getting it than we have.
Yeah.
I have no idea
OK.
at that point. I just
Why would
don't.
your aunt know this?
She reads a lot. She's very intelligent, I suppose.
What's she called? I can't call her auntie. What's she
Yeah,
called?
LP.
LP.
Elspeth, but obviously she likes to be called LP.
OK, we'll dial her. Jason, you can talk to her, yeah?
Yep, certainly.
To your auntie.
Hello?
LP,
Yeah?
Chris Tarrant, good evening.
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Okay, thank you.
Well, I tell you what it is, LP. We're right in the middle of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Andy and Jason, and they're doing OK, actually, but they are stuck on a particular question, and they said, well, Jason said, Auntie LP, you'll probably know.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, bless him. All right, my darling, so listen, it's serious money. It's for £20,000.
Right.
So, the next voice will be Jason's. He'll tell you the question. There are still 4 possible answers. One of these is worth 20 grand. All right, my darling?
Okay, thank you.
OK, Jason, fingers crossed, mate. Your time starts now.
LP. Kate Humble usually presents TV programmes on which of these subjects? Design, fashion, cookery or wildlife?
What was the name again?
Kate Humble.
It's wildlife.
Wildlife. Thank you very much, LP. 100% or...?
Pretty much.
Yeah, thank you very much, LP.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Gin and tonic.
Thank you.
Sorted. Sounded very positive.
Yeah, it did, yes. Wildlife.
Andy has no idea.
He has no idea. I
Just
don't have
make
no
up
idea.
numbers on this question.
Yeah. Wildlife, final answer.
Ooh. Mr.
We're in.
Suddenly very confident.
We're in.
Thanks to Auntie Elspeth.
Stones.
Auntie Elspeth, God bless her, is right. You've just got £20,000, you guys. OK, have a look. You have no lifelines, but question number 7. If you did go for it and give me a right answer, you would win a minimum tonight. That'd be a fantastic result for you. A minimum tonight of £50,000. But I will warn you, I know you know this, but I'll remind you, if you went for it and gave me a wrong answer, you would plunge back to 1,000. You would drop £19,000. And all your mates back at the barracks would be merciless. This is question number 7 of a possible 12. The pirate station Radio Caroline was named after the daughter of which US president? Franklin D. Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, Dwight D. Eisenhower.
I've got an inkling. It's Eisenhower.
19 grand on the inkling.
Yeah.
You for real?
Obviously, unless you've got any ideas, I'm not nowhere near sure about that at all.
Why do you think it's...
I've got a funny thing. I'm sure I saw something recent or read something recent that he's got a fairly famous daughter, or she's very political or something like that. I'm just wondering if, because of that, maybe.
So not Roosevelt, not Kennedy, and not Johnson.
I was swaying towards Kennedy.
Where's Mrs. Jackie Nassers? She got remarried.
You'd have to seriously convince me that it's Eisenhower.
I can't. Quite simply. No, I wouldn't risk it anyway. No, unless you got something. I've got nothing.
No, if I had more than an inkling, I might think about it. I don't know. I don't know.
No, I feel Eisenhower, but that's very loose.
I don't think I'm prepared to gamble
No.
that amount of money on
Yeah,
something that we don't actually know. We're just going on a hunch.
Yeah, that'll go a long way, so I think we could be done.
Yeah.
What will you do with it once you come out the pub?
There won't be much left.
Yeah, see what I've got left when I come out of the pub.
Good night.
Yeah.
Happy? £20,000?
Yeah, more than happy.
Right, give them a big hand. They go away with £20,000.
Hello, mate. Good, buddy.
And Mr. Courageous, Fearless Marine, if you'd just been a bit braver and gone for Eisenhower, you'd just have lost 19 grand.
As long as it wasn't JFK, I don't care.
If you'd been a lot braver, Mr. Sergeant Andy, and had gone for John F. Kennedy, you'd have just won £50,000.
Why didn't you tell me?
I told you I knew it.
Yeah, why didn't you tell me?
Give me a hand to go away with 20 grand. Listen, guys, and thank you for what you did. Royal Marines Jason and Andy march smartly back to the dressing room with a very well-deserved cheque for £20,000. It does mean it's time to meet our next two servicemen from the Royal Navy, Petty Officers Grant Lyon and Martin Strick. Very smart. Hello, chaps. Nice to see you guys. Welcome. Right, very smart. Put me to shame sitting over here in his suit. Grant and Martin both have homes in Yeovil in Somerset. They work together as Royal Navy Petty Officers and aero engineering mechanics, predominantly maintaining and servicing a fleet of Sea King helicopters. Grant joined the Navy 22 years ago and has served in Sierra Leone, Bosnia and more recently Iraq. He's been married to Amanda for 19 years. They met aged just 14 and he says it was love at first sight. I knew you'd do that if I waited long enough. They have a 16-year-old daughter called Kerry Ann and an 11-year-old son called Jonathan. Grant says he's got a head full of rubbish, so he should be good on this show. I'm not quite sure how to take that. Martin has been in the Navy for 16 years and has also served in Bosnia, as well as 4 harrowing tours of duty in Iraq. He married his wife Samantha just 6 months ago, but gained an instant family, 3 stepchildren aged between 5 and 16. Both Grant and Martin say they love their job so much that no amount of winnings this evening would make them leave the Navy. But Martin says one day his dream would be to try and retire to Canada. All right, guys, lots to talk about. 12 questions, 3 brand new lifelines, £1 million is the formula. And, of course, they have to agree on any decisions they make, which can be tricky as neither one of them outranks the other. Right, Grant, Martin, lots of luck. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Right, let's get through the first hurdle up to £1,000. Question number 1 is for 500 quid. What forms the outermost layer of chicken Kiev? Suet pastry, breadcrumbs, Parma ham, cabbage leaves.
I'm happy.
Would you like to do the honours?
Breadcrumbs? Final answer?
Yes.
Yeah. Breadcrumbs, final answer.
Well played, you got 500 quid. You're looking very smug. Totally pleased with yourself.
It's just, yeah, first hurdle. Let's just get it over.
Right, let's get you to £1,000. Otherwise, the stick would be merciless.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Question number 2 would guarantee you £1,000. You had 3 lifelines. Here it is. When referring to radio, the abbreviation DAB stands for what kind of audio broadcasting?
Your turn, mate.
Thank you very much.
Daily, digital, dimensional, diameter.
That'll be digital, Chris.
And I concur.
Do you really? Final answer.
You're a conker.
Final answer?
Final answer.
It's the right answer. You got £1,000. No problem at all. We talked a lot to the other 2 guys about Afghanistan. I mean, the same sort of thing. What is Iraq like? It's formerly a beautiful country, of course, isn't it?
The area we were in, Basra, the best way of describing it is brown.
And hot.
And hot.
How
yes.
hot?
50 degrees, 55, midday.
55.
Celsius. You can't begin to explain to somebody how hot that is. I mean, there were periods of the day where you just couldn't work out in the open air. You put a screwdriver or a spanner down, you're working on the aircraft, 2 minutes later, you can't pick it up again. It's literally too hot to touch. You're taking buckets of
This is
cold
like
water
servicing the helicopters and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what can you do?
A bucket of cold water.
Really?
You keep the tools in the water. And the evaporation of the water keps it cool enough so that you can still pick the tools up.
And a lot of work, obviously, we do at night. We just ran a night shift that was, you know, in a more bearable 30 degrees.
30 degrees at night.
During the day, you'd have to drink 6 or 7 large bottles of water just to keep hydrated.
thought you could say 6 or 7 lagers. Sorry.
Had a glass. No, unfortunately, we were dry.
Yeah.
The first time I was there, we stayed in an old bombed-out hotel. And the big old windows in it, gold-plated windows that we couldn't really get open. So, Matlows being Matlows, we decided to take all these windows out, throw them in the skip to the end of the trip. It was unbearably hot at night. I mean, unbearably. And we got to the end of the trip and we're speaking to some guys. They said, yeah, the gold-plated windows actually reflect the heat, so it would have been about 20 degrees cooler in there if we'd kept them in.
Stupid boy.
Yes, yeah.
You have £1,000. Question number 3 is for £2,000. You have all 3 lifelines. Here we go. On which continent is the caftan a traditional garment? Australia, South America, Asia, North America.
I'm thinking Asia.
So am I. It's like a long, frocky affair, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't think of any North American traditional garments apart from a cowboy outfit. Australia is obviously shorts, a bush shirt and hat with corks on
And
it.
a barbecue.
And a barbecue under your
They
arm.
don't all wear hats with corks on.
South America. Well, that's
Ponchos.
poncho, isn't it? So, does that eliminate...
Yeah, I mean, the caftan traditionally is associated
Hippies.
with hippies.
Yeah.
And Enlightenment, which is India,
India and... yeah.
which is Asia.
Yeah. Final?
Final.
Final answer, Asia.
Right answer, you got £2,000. You kind of calm
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than I thought I'd
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
so far.
So far.
Have you got a kind of burning ambition to beat the Marines?
It would be nice. We are the senior service, after all. Yeah, listen, I don't personally see this as a competition between us. You know, we're made up. I wish they'd have gone further.
All right, guys, Martin Grant, serious business. You have £2,000. Question number 4 is for £5,000. You have all 3 lifelines. Which actress married the country singer Keith Urban in 2006? Martin's grinning happily. Have a look. Kate Blanchett, Reese Witherspoon, Kate Winslet, Nicole Kidman.
It's D, Chris. Nicole Kidman, final answer.
Final answer.
Oh, come on, let's sort of dither around a bit and... Why are you so sure?
It was in all the papers a couple of weeks ago.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Grant, you just have to go along with it.
Nicole Kidman, obviously. Final answer.
It's the right answer. You got £5,000.
Both Australians as well.
Right, you're creeping up. Question number 5. You could double your money here. Question number 5 is for £10,000. You still, interestingly, tactically have not yet used any lifelines. Have a look at question number 5. The businessman usually known as Stelios. Will you stop nodding to each other? Is most associated with which industry? Airlines? Oil? Newspapers? Construction? I bet you know this.
Let me.
Après-vous.
Airlines, Chris.
Final answer.
Agreed.
Final answer.
You're quite right. You got £10,000. You could lose 9, but question number 6 is for £20,000. You have all 3 lifelines. That's the important thing. Here it comes. Which film musical ends with the line, Eliza, where the devil are my slippers? The King and I, My Fair Lady, Gigi, South Pacific.
Right, Eliza was the main female character in My Fair Lady. Sure of it.
I can't take you seriously now. I've just seen you in a dress.
What I do in my off-watch is my business.
Convince me.
Right. Eliza was the main character in the musical where a couple of toffs have a bet of turning a street urchin into a lady. South Pacific was set in Hawaii,
Birmingham.
as far as I know. The King and I is obviously
Yul
set in
Brynner.
Asia. Yul Brynner, yeah. You've seen that film. Gigi, don't know. I am really happy it will be My Fair Lady.
How sure are you? Percentage?
75%.
75%.
I am
sure.
not dead certain. What do you want to do, mate? Do you want to ask the audience?
Or do you want a 50-50?
No.
Definitely 75% sure.
Yes, I am.
So we ask the audience.
Let's go to the audience. If you're not happy, I'm not going to push you into anything.
Just on the
yeah,
safe side.
let's ask the audience. We'd like to ask the audience, please, Chris.
Right, audience, this is the question.
Let's just say.
Serious business, we're up at the sharp end. This is for £20,000 and it's the first lifeline that these two guys have needed. Which film musical ends with the line, Eliza, where the devil are my slippers? Now, A on your keypads is The King and I. B is My Fair Lady. C is Gigi. D is South Pacific. Or, no. Well, 94%.
Mate.
I defer to my learned friend.
We will go with My Fair Lady, please.
Final answer.
Yes.
Safeguard.
It's the right answer. You got £20,000. See, you
all right.
doubted him. Your comrade in arms here, you doubted him.
If he said 76%, I'd have gone with it. So it's his fault, not mine.
Right, serious business, guys. You got £20,000. You are on the brink of a serious check for 50 grand. You have got 2 lifelines to help you get there, but if you're absolutely stuck, use both the lifelines and you can still walk away with 20 grand, which would be a great result. Have a look at question number 7. This is it. Buffalo is the second largest city in which US state? Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, New York.
Yes.
You sure?
Now, Martin, what are you thinking?
I think it's New York State.
How much? 75%?
76.5.
I thought it was Maine.
Maine's New England. It's right up the top. Maine's the last one you get to before you hit Canada. Louisiana. New Orleans was the big one. Kentucky.
If you're wrong, you drop £19,000.
I am 90%. It's New York State.
90.
Gustin 91. I mean, let's just think
To
about
the
it.
tune of £19,000. Shoes on the other foot now, isn't it, Shippers? It's a lot of money. And if we get it right, we can keep going. Is it worth throwing a phone a friend at?
Let's make it certain, shall we?
Who should we phone?
Who have we got?
50-50
Alan, I
help?
think, would know this, definitely.
Martin, 50-50 help?
No, it'd be a... Well,
It'd help, but we've got a strategy.
if we can guarantee that the two I'm not sure about.
I'm not confident my phone a friend would know this. So I'm happy if we go with phone Alan.
Yes, let's phone Alan.
OK?
Yep, phone Alan,
Who's going
please.
to talk to him? Grant? Martin?
I'll speak to him.
Martin? OK. Where's he?
He should be at home now, back in Somerset.
Why will he know this?
He's very well read. He knows. He knows stuff.
He knows stuff. OK.
Hello?
Alan?
Speaking.
Chris Tarrant here. Good evening.
Hello, Chris.
How are you?
Very well, thanks. And yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you. I've got the lads here. I've got Martin and Grant here. They're doing rather well.
Excellent.
But they're stuck on a
Splendid.
particular question. There's no pressure on you, but it's worth £50,000.
Oh, righto.
Yeah. I knew you'd be
Okay.
pleased.
Pardon?
Right, now, serious business. So the next voice should be Martin. All right, matey, he'll tell you the question. There are still 4 possible answers. One of these is the right answer. It would be worth a minimum to them of £50,000 tonight if you can give them the right answer. All right, mate?
Okay.
Serious business. Right, fingers crossed. Martin, 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
Buffalo is the second largest city in which US state?
Say again, Martin.
Buffalo is the second largest city in which US state? Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, or New York? Buffalo.
I think I know the answer.
10 seconds left.
New York.
Are you sure? How sure are you? Quickly.
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, but pretty sure.
So I think.
Yeah. Well, he's convinced me.
Okay.
Should we hold hands and do this together?
Please don't.
No.
New York.
New York, final answer.
You just won £50,000.
I wasn't sure on that. I wasn't sure on that. I was pretty sure.
£50,000. Look at your faces. And that is the minimum amount we will give you tonight. You will go home with at least that amount of money. Have a look. You got it. 50 grand. Want to take it?
I don't think so, do you?
Let's keep going.
Leave it here?
You
Okay.
can keep that.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Chris.
That's very kind. You're a very nice man. Right, you got 50 grand. How do you feel?
Elated.
Wasted a lifeline, really.
Safety. It was a big jump, and it would also stop us going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And you would have lost
Exactly.
19 grand, even though you said it was, did you say 90% veering?
I was
I'm so
gusting
sorry, mate,
91.
but-
Hey, listen, £19,000 is an awful lot of money.
Yeah.
It's nearly a month's wages for us.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Oh, there goes a flying pig. Right, you have £50,000. You still have a 50-50. Have a look at question number 8. This is one of those great ones where you've got that lovely comfort zone. You know you're going home with £50,000 at least, and you might as well play it. You've got a 50-50 if it helps you. Have a look at it. Question number 8 is for £75,000. Which of these prime ministers did not become a peer? Clement Attlee, Winston Churchill, Anthony Eden, Harold Macmillan. What are you thinking?
I have a strange suspicion that it was Mr. Churchill. They voted him out at the end of the war.
They did.
How grateful of them. And then he came back in the late 40s, early 50s. And I think...
Lord Attlee, Lord Eden, Lord Macmillan. You're right. You're right. You are right.
Let's go for it. We've got nothing to lose.
Got a 50-50 if you want it.
50-50 is not going to help us. And if we get this, if we cake this one right, we've still got 50-50 left. Winston Churchill, final answer.
Final answer, Winston Churchill.
You've just won £75,000.
I think he died not long after he took over the second one.
That was absolutely spot on. Attlee became Earl Attlee of Walthamstow. Anthony Eden became the Earl of Avon, and Macmillan was the Earl of Stockton. And you're right, Winnie of all people did not become a peer.
There was an injustice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's all going rather well, isn't it?
It's going swimmingly,
Spiffing.
Christopher.
Have a look. This is what you've done. Have a look. 75 grand you have now. This is kind of unreal for you two, isn't it? It's just-
Yes.
But we don't want to give you that. You've got that. You've got 75 grand. And brilliantly, you actually kept 50-50 back. Now, you are 4 away from £1 million.
Oh, my God.
Question number 9 is for £150,000. These are getting extraordinary amounts of money. This is an interesting one always because you only dropped 25,000
But you
if you
gained.
gave me a wrong answer. but you can double your money here to 150 grand. You have got a 50-50 to help you play. Have a look at it. Question number 9 of a possible 12 is this. The site of the Bastille prison in France is now home to what kind of building? Supermarket, opera house, church, zoo. That's worth 150 grand. You can get rid of 2 of them.
I don't know.
50-50, please, Chris.
I agree.
OK, computer, take away 2 random wrong answers. Leave Martin and Grant the right answer and the one remaining wrong answer.
See, I was thinking zoo from the
So
beginning.
was I. Big area.
Kind of fitting.
Yeah. It's only 12.5 grand each to lose, or...
Oh, yeah. Nothing.
I don't know, I thought zoo when I looked at the 4 of them.
I thought zoo.
And it's a 50-50 chance of doubling our money.
We're never going to sit here again.
Never.
And we've got... I've got what I came for.
I've got what I said I'd be absolutely elated with. And my family have already spent mentally.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Zoo, Chris, final answer.
Zoo, final answer.
You have been extraordinary, you two. You had £75,000. You've just lost 25
Never mind, hey.
pounds. The right answer
Faint heart.
is Opera House.
Didn't try it. The hell not? I've got what I came for. haven't I?
Yeah. Have a look now, put it in your hand. Take it, it's yours, take it away, give him a big hand. £50,000!
Nice. It's nicer than the first time I looked at it.
I have to say, I have absolutely loved it tonight. That's all we've got time for earlier on tonight. Royal Marine Sergeants Jason Way and Andy Probert marched off smartly with £20,000. And Royal Navy Petty Officers Grant Lyon and Martin Stewart. I won't help them in the chair because I don't think they need it. Right. Jason and Andy have been buddies for 10 years. Jason's home is in Weston-super-Mare, where he lives with his girlfriend, Gemma. He's been a Marine for 15 years now, having joined just before his 18th birthday. Originally, he planned to go into the army, but followed the lead of a couple of his mates and joined the Marines instead before he realised just how much more gruelling the training was going to turn out to be. He has seen plenty of active service in Afghanistan, where he helped to train Afghan soldiers. He applied to be on the show on the internet because he wanted to show that Marines do have brains as well as brawn.
Why would you say that?
We shall see. His mate Andy says he got dragged along to the audition by Jason, and he warns that they may well start bickering on the show. He lives in Wellington in Somerset with his wife Lindsay. Like Jason, he's also served in Afghanistan, where he once... Welcome to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and we've got a very special Forces edition of the show for you tonight. So, attention! By the right, quick march to the television set. On the double, you stragglers in the kitchen. Yes. Well, our contestants tonight are members of the Armed Forces who attended our recent nationwide auditions. 2 Royal Marine Commandos first, both from Somerset. Will you welcome Sergeant Jason Way and Sergeant Andy Probert? Good luck. Hi, guys.
Royal Crescents in Bath.
That rings a bell. Yeah,
You
safe
do
ride.
know if he's wrong and you go along with him, you go with nothing at all.
Could you imagine? Could you
Are
imagine?
you sure? Why do you think it's Bath?
I just know there's the big circle in Bath as well as the Royal Crescent.
Yeah, I can't see it being Birmingham or Bolton or Bradford now. All right, I'm happy. I'm happy.
It's the right answer. You got £1,000. Don't tell me you're nervous, big boys.
I'm just happy that we made it here.
Right now.
I have to say, I can imagine if you did go out, you know, under 1,000, you went home with nothing, the stick you would get would be just horrific. I had a near miss with a landmine. He says he does love being a Marine despite the obvious dangers because they spend their working lives parachuting, abseiling and undergoing rigorous and arduous training. And he says he actually enjoys very sedate pleasures when he's at home, like weeding and painting the fence. OK, right, here we go. Lots to talk about. Hopefully lots of money to be won. As ever, the computer will randomly fire off a salvo of up to 12 questions for a possible shared prize of £1 million. And there's backup close at hand from those trusty lifelines, 50-50. Phone a friend, or they can ask this very, hopefully helpful, intelligent audience. Jason, Andy, guys, lots of luck. Let's play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Here we go. Question number 1. It's £500. The song Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious features in which musical? Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Mary Poppins, Oliver, for 500 quid.
Not my strong point.
There's no right answer to this. If we get this right, we're going to get a bit of grief at
Let's
work.
think about this one. I'm going to go... Oh, well, I'm pretty sure it's Mary Poppins.
I agree, it's Mary Poppins.
I'm pretty sure it's Mary Poppins.
OK, it's the right answer. You've got £500. OK, last one at which you could go home with nothing at all. I'm sure it won't happen. You have got all 3 lifelines. There are no trick questions. This is for £1,000. Which city is known for its royal crescent? Birmingham, Bath, Bolton, Bradford.
I think I know this one.
I hope you do, because I don't.
Why would you say that? I think it's Bath.